The Taco Tuesday, the Taco Tuesday. We're gonna have a tapas bar. The Taco Tuesday, the Taco Tuesday. We're gonna have a tapas bar. Hello, we're not gonna have a tapas bar, but it is the Taco Tuesday, and guess who forgot to buy tacos? Hello, I'm Peter. I am going to make my own homemade taco, like tortilla chips, but before we get into that, I am going to use the Tupperware Pressure Cooker. Now I'm going to do, it's going to be like a cross between a spagless bog and a cowboy caviar and chili con carne. But like, I went shopping, I went to the fruit shop today. I thought, oh, I'll get some of that, I'll get some of that, I'll get some of that. And instead of using the ingredients in 3 separate dishes, I'm just going to bung it all in here and have a veggie overload. Now, you know how you have a fruit compote? What's the equivalent in veggies? Like, I'm just doing a vegetable medley, or a veggie medley. That's what we'll call it. This is the Tupperware Pressure Cooker. It will taste like you've slow cooked your meal for 6 to 8 hours, but it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes. Now, that's the base there. You've just got to remember that you've got to get the food in between the minimum line and the maximum line. If you are cooking meat, then you just make sure you have your water in your meat. Make sure it's got to be a minimum of 150 mils of water. So like half a cup plus a couple of tablespoons. So if you're doing like a chicken, like a roast chicken or a pulled pork or a silver side or meatballs or a potato bake, make sure you've got a minimum of 150 mils of liquid. And like if you're just doing all your veggies, just a half a cup of water and a couple of tablespoons and you're right to go, right? Now see these little interlocking there's like tabs here, right? So that's the interlocking mechanism with the tabs on the top of here, right? Now, when you lose the instruction booklet, all the instructions are on the inside here, so you don't even keep looking for the booklet, right? So you go, what did he say? Oh, that's right. Maximum 30 minutes, maximum 900 watts, minimum 150 mils of water. There's a maximum of 2 litres, and it is... it's allergic to knives, right? So there is your safety arm on the top here. It's a safety arm. That's your safety arm. There's your pressure indicator over here. There's a safety release steam valve here. So when there is a buildup of steam underneath here, it's going to slowly escape through the steam release valve in there. And then there is your little, it's like a black silicone O-ring or gasket that fits nicely into here. Can you see there's an arrow on one side, there's an arrow underneath the other side. You turn it this way to pop your cover off, turn it that way to pop your cover on, and you just line that up with the arrow on the handle over here and the other arrow over here. And underneath here, there's all the, if you're interested in all the specs and temperatures and everything, all that information's printed on the base there. And this little foot around here, that allows the energy to travel around evenly, so you end up with an even heat distribution, right? Let's get cracking, because I'm starving, right? So what we're going to do is throw in, where shall we start? Where shall we start? All right, let's throw in, we'll start with a tin of kidney beans, right? So this is the Tupperware can opener. Inevitably, there's always someone in every crowd, and they always come onto my lives, that will say, but it's got a ring pull. Can't you just pull the ring pull? Yes, you can. You can pull the ring pull. Here's a tin of corn that I've just pulled the ring pull in. See here? That is really, really sharp. Have you ever had a ring pull where the ring pull's snapped off and you still need a can opener anyway? This is really sharp. So if you've got bin divers, dogs, partners, kids that go bin diving, or maybe you've forgotten the recipe of a packet of something and then you put your hands back into the bin, you slice yourself open, the Tupperware can opener is very safe. It leaves no sharp edges. It doesn't cut. So all you do is open up the arms, you pop that over the rim of the can, close up the arms, and you know you've got the whole thing on because you can lift it up, right? Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, just turn it in a clockwise direction, and once you've done the full 360, you'll hear a little click. Did you hear that click? Then just go back a quarter of a turn. That releases the seal, and then you might look at it and go, I thought Peter said it releases the seal. It does. There's another feature to the Tupperware can guru, or the can opener. It's this little beak. So you open up the arms, right? You open up the arms, hook that beak over there, close up the arms, one hand on the can, lift that up, and can you see here? Look, no sharp edges at all, right? And can you see this mechanism here has not touched any food whatsoever. It hasn't come in contact with food. So all you have to do is you go over to the bin, release that. That now goes back to wherever you store your can opener. And this can get recycled. If you've got, I've got done a tin of lentils in here as well. There's no sharp edges on here either, right? And which means you can undo the bottom of it. You can do little Wonder Woman bracelets, or you can upcycle and make little pencil cases and decorate your cans over there. What a great school holiday activity. There's my tin of kidney beans. I have just opened up a tin of lentils. I've had it straining through my Tupperware sifter. We will throw that straight into here. We will now grab our kidney beans, just pop it into the sifter, and then that way you can rinse it through, drain that thoroughly, and just have a look at the display while talk amongst yourselves just for a moment. We will just let that strain away over here. Here's a little bubby tin of corn that I did. There's that little bubby tin of corn that I just popped in through. Let's throw that straight into there as well. We will also, here's these kidney beans. We'll just strain them off. It's very rough. There we go, tin of kidney beans. We'll throw that straight into there as well. And we will rinse that off over there. Now, there's kidney beans, lentils, a thing of corn into there. We will throw in just a little bit of chili lime oil, just for the flavouring, right? We have got some mixed herbs out of my Tupperware spice container. Have you seen these? This has a nice side here where you can pop your spoon in, or if you prefer to sprinkle, you can do that. I'm just going to shake this straight into here, just a couple of tablespoons of herbs into there. We have got some cayenne pepper in I buy my cayenne pepper by the bulk. Let me just grab a spoon. I have got a spoon here. And we're just going to throw in about a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper into there. That's going to give us the same heat that chili will, but it's not going to irritate our tummies. And it's also going to be great for the blood, moving that blood around perfectly. And we've got that into there. Now, let's move this out the way. We have got, there's a few other little bits and pieces that are happening right here. Have you seen this product? Do you know what it's called? No need to ask, it's a smooth operator. It is a smooth operator. We are going to take the blades out upside down, Miss Jane, because that's going to keep it nice and contained. All the mess will be in there. I have got in here, I just had half an onion from last week that I just popped in my Tupperware Clearmate, and I will, excuse me, I will just slice this off, and I have just got, oh, we'll pop that back into there. I have got half an onion. We'll just pop that straight into there, right? And actually, you know what we will do? I will throw in another half. Let's just move this around in here. If you've got any questions or suggestions, send me a message on whatever platform you use. I am Tupperware Pete everywhere with the same, I've got the same profile pic and the same name. So Tupperware Pete with the same profile pic. If you have any questions or suggestions, just send me a message and I'm more than happy to have a dialogue with you about that, all right? So we're just going to pop this straight over here, and I've just got, yes, you don't have to tell me, I have got half a white onion or a brown onion. I can't remember what colour that was. I think it was a white one. And I've got half a red onion. I don't know why we call it a red onion. I think purple cabbage has something to do with that. So we've got that in there. We have got this here. Let's pop this into here. And we will just peel that perfectly off over there. Okay, and we will throw that straight into there. Now, if you want it, this works really well if you've got to chop and dice a lot of onion. All you have to do is, there's an anti-slip grip on the bottom. That is on the inside when you get it. Please make sure you take that out and pop it onto the base. That's going to help stabilise everything on the bench top. I normally give it a bit of a shake. That's 5 pulls of the cord, and that's just a rough chop, all right? So that's all I'm going to do. A rough chop of onion into there, right? Too easy, right? Now what we've got, remember the other day I had that leftover cauliflower rice and I popped it in a Clearmate? I'm just going to pop that straight into here as well. Let's grab a spatula. Because, like, it has to be eaten and no one will know that they're eating cauliflower. And if you want to hide mushrooms, wink, wink, then this is really good for that as well, all right? So we've got those over there. Now, with the Tupperware Vent Smart, these will literally make your fruits and veggies last 3 to 5 times longer than just sitting in a plastic bag at the bottom of your fridge, right? So I have got, there's a green capsicum or a green bell pepper, depending on where you live in the world. I am just going to, the capsicum tells you where to slice it, right? So you just grab your knife, pop it straight down there, pop it straight down there. That's going to peel off there and there's no seeds, right? Really easy. So if you want to, you can just pop that straight into there and we will maybe do another one, right? There we go. Oh, there are a few seeds in that one. Here we go. That's a bit chunky, Mama. We'll throw that straight into there. That leftover is going to go into here. Capsicum is in the middle. We slide the slide to the middle, making sure that the circle up in the box is the same as the circle on the top. And if you don't have your glasses like me and you go, hang on a minute, what's going on? It's really easy. The Vent Smart that are large enough to have all the pictures on one side, if you're looking at the picture, you can read the word Tupperware, you know you've got it on the right way. If the fruits and veggies are on the left-hand side, you slide the slide to the left-hand side. If the fruits and veggies are in the middle, you slide the slide to the middle. And if the fruits and veggies are on the right-hand side, you slide the slide to the right-hand side. It really is that easy, right? So there's my capsicum. That is, where are we? Capsicum is on the left-hand side. We slide the slide to the left-hand side because we can read the word Tupperware while we're looking at the picture. We know we've got it on the right way. The other way of checking is that the capsicum is in the box that the circle is half and half. So you slide the slide to where the circle is half and half. That's going to allow a little bit of airflow through because capsicum needs a little bit more airflow than carrots and celery, all right? So carrots and celery can live together. Now, yes, these are growing, slightly growing, because carrots and celery in here will last for a good at least 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 weeks, depending on your fridge, right? So we've got those in there. I do have some purple carrots that I got from the fruit shop. How delicious are these? So they can live into there as well. I've got some of these gorgeous little finger eggplants. They can get popped straight into there as well. We've also got some of these gourmet tomatoes. They can be popped into there because they're all in the same container. And I know that they can go into the same container because they're all on the same, they're all in the same box on the front of the Vent Smart, right? So that's why I know they can all stay in the together, right? So we've got those. What we might do is, let's do some of this. Let's do some celery. We'll grab a couple of sticks of celery. We'll do an orange carrot. And I'll just give this a bit of a wash. That's the other thing with your Vent Smart. Leave them in there dirty. Wash them as you use them because they like to have a bit of their own filth and dirt in there to make them last a little bit longer. Does that make sense, right? I'm sure there's a nicer way of saying it. Someone will let me know. All right. So we've got that into there. We've got that. I've got some of this celery and some of this carrot. I am just going to very quickly just pop them straight into there. That's some celery. That is I'm not peeling it. All the nutrients is in the skin. So we've got some of these. I'm not going to use the purple carrot, which I thought would be yummy. I'm just going to use the orange carrot because you can eat the rainbow, eat the rainbow, eat the rainbow too. Let's just throw bits of carrot. We've got celery and we've got some of that capsicum into there. We've got some of this. Let's just pop this into here. Oh, hang on. Let's make sure. I probably haven't respected the fill line with this one. Tupperware recommends you respect the fill line, which is just underneath there, right? So let's just give this. That's 5 pulls of the cord, right? So do you want to chop it up a little bit finer? Let's chop it up just a little bit finer. I mean, you can chop this by hand if that's what you like. But you can save money on gym fees. Absolutely you can. There we go. There, this is what I'm after. Let me show you. How gorgeous is this? Carrot, celery, capsicum, done. Pop that straight into there. Pop that into there. That's going to be gorgeous. Yum-o. Yum-o. What I'm going to do is throw in some garlic. Actually, you might have heard me say this before. This is the garlic keeper. I've got one whole head of garlic left with a couple of bits of left in there. If you are going to use your garlic crusher, keep your garlic crusher in there so you don't have to keep running around the kitchen, right? I love garlic. I live alone. And so what I'm going to do is just slice this through. Can you see what I'm doing here? Oh yeah, sort of. We're going to slice that through, and I am going to just tip that over. Let's remove all of this skin. You can save your own garlic skins, and you can make your own garlic powder at home. So all I'm going to do is, woo! There we go. And let's pop this straight into here. We will. I'm just going to blitz this up, baby. I'm going to throw in some eggplant in with my supersonic chopper. And, I mean, Tupperware really does, it's the design of the product that I really love, and the quality as well. The quality is second to none. And it's, you know, Tupperware's been around. Earl Tupper, yes, there was a man called Mr. Tupper. He invented Tupperware just over 80 years ago. And it's now etched into everybody's childhood and psyche. And nanas and aunties and mums and dads pass it down from generation to generation because of the quality. It lasts forever. All right, so buy Tupperware, you buy once and you've got it forever, especially with your pantry. Once you buy your pantry once, you've got it forever, and it really does save you money in the long run. It'll pay for itself within a couple of weeks. All right, so we've got those. Let's just throw the rest of this garlic in here, into our Clearmate. We will keep that for Ron later on. And we'll pop that into there. We've got our eggplant, a finger-licking eggplant. And we will just grab this. And we will, look. We'll just pop this into chunks. Eggplant, garlic. We've got one eggplant in there. Let's throw this into here. And we will... Right, that's our eggplant and our garlic. You can chop it by hand if you like, but I've got this out, so may as well use that, right? Eggplant, garlic. Grab our spatula. We've got that through there, and how fantastic is that? Right, so in here we have got corn, kidney beans, lentil, capsicum, carrot, celery, onion, eggplant. Can't remember what else I threw. Oh, cauliflower rice. So that's going to be loaded up with so much non-animal protein, and it's also going to be brilliant for our veggie intake. Now I can freeze that. This will freeze really well. What I normally do is throw in a jar of passata. I didn't have a jar of passata in the cupboard, but you know what I do have? A tin of tomato soup. So we're going to just do a bit of a cheat, and we're going to throw in a tin of tomato soup. If this is a concentrate tomato soup, throw that into there, and we'll just throw that straight into here, and we will... Yum-o, yum-o. We'll just make sure that that is mixed around beautifully, and so all of that, it's still well underneath the fill line. we're just going to make sure that we've got about 150 mils of water. Now, don't be tempted. The trick is, once you've actually cooked a fair bit with the pressure cooker, don't be tempted to, you might say, oh, that looks too dry, we need more liquid. Don't be tempted to add in liquid like you would in a stovetop or in the oven. There'll be so much liquid in what's in there that you won't need to add any more in at all. I'm just going to add in just a couple of tablespoons, about a seventh of a tin, just to clean out the rest of the tin, right? Really super simple. I'm going to grab this, we'll lift up the safety up, line up the arrows, give that a bit of a twist. How strange things happen, how you're going around the twist. Let's move this out of the way, let's move this out of the way. We can throw in some cherry tomatoes if we wanted to. I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to pop that straight in. You can pop it in for a maximum of 30 minutes. I'm going to pop it in for 25 minutes. And while that's in there, I am just going to prep up. Actually, we might come back and do part 2. So we'll do part 2. I'm going to show you how I do my homemade. We've got some taco seasoning. We'll pop that away. I've got my Tupperware scissors. We're going to use those. I've got some of this gorgeous Lebanese flatbread that I'm going to cut up. I'm going to store it in my Tupperware round container. I'm then going to slice it up, pop it in my MicroPro grill into the grill position, and I'm going to make my own homemade tortilla chips because it's a lot cheaper and it's a lot healthier for you as well. And then whatever I've got left over, I'll just pop it in an airtight container, pop it into the pantry for next week, and that's it. That's what we're going to do. So we'll come back. I'll do a part 2 once that comes out of the microwave oven. In the meantime, while we're waiting, you know what you need to do? Forget your troubles and get happy. Dance your cares away. Shout out and get happy. I'll cook for you in just a minute. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.